Now.
Come on,
Come on safari with me. So have any of you been out today in those 15-footers?
Been out watching them.
Yeah, that's where I like to be.
I was right there watching them.
Like to be up on the bluffs watching really funny people decide that it'd be a good time to drop in.
Yeah, no, it's been epic for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
There was some great stuff last week, and I don't think Gary, you still surfing these days?
Bit.
Yeah, Gary surfs a little bit, but we're down to just I think one brave soul left in the band these days.
Yeah, that happens after a while.
Yeah.
So let's drop in with the first tune here.
Absolutely, it's called Sneak It In. It's about sneaking liquor into the movies, John. I knew you'd like that.
I love that. Fascinating creatures of the deep. All instrumental.
All instrumental.
You don't like to write lyrics, or can't anybody sing?
Well, you know what's really odd is I can. There's a little bit of both in there. I can write poetry reasonably well. Cannot write a lyric to save my life.
Well,
and
isn't
yes,
that the
we
same?
Can sing. No, it's not though.
Poetry's not the same as lyrics?
You know, they say it is, but in my case, there's
It's
some
not.
sort of disconnect going on.
Can't
so
plug the notes into the words.
I just can't make it happen, man. So, intro thing. I mean, basically the story is I went to a Slack Tone show, courtesy of Stretch back there. He insisted I had to go, and I went, and it was my Blues Brothers moment in the church with James Brown. I went and saw these guys, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I got to do it. So I do a semi-weak imitation of Slack Tone, but it's an imitation nonetheless,
All right. Well, we'll introduce the band here. You're all fascinating creatures of the deep.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. You want me to introduce
Are you a
everyone else?
fascinating creature?
I'm a Gary Boot.
Well, there
Yes.
you go. They got mics. Stretch, can you talk into yours?
Stretch?
Yep.
Or is it Louie? Yes, I've got to tell the story, Stretch.
Do it up.
Stretch is drumming right now, and he and I met, 15 to 20 years ago at KUSP, and we did a couple of hours, and we only played one song, but by many different artists who did covers of Louie Louie. And he had, how many do you have now, Stretch?
Probably 1,600.
Covers? Well, we're going to have to do a longer show, I guess.
We don't know Louie Louie, though. No.
You don't play Louie
Believe it or
Louie.
not. It's coming, though. Trust me. Otherwise, he'll leave.
Why would he be in the band?
Exactly.
There's too many lyrics in that song.
That's right. That's right. Somebody will have to sing it. Maybe Stretch.
And I'm Paul Zimmerman. I'm the bass player.
Hey, Paul, glad to have you here. And did we get,
That's
I
everybody.
can't see around, okay.
Yeah.
And,
Oh. My name's Adrian Cavlin. I'm the electric guitarist.
now everybody will want to be an electric guitarist.
True enough.
And so where do you play around town? Have you got a show coming up here we can talk about?
We do,
Oh, the Crow's
absolutely.
Nest, yes,
Yeah.
on the 19th of January.
Yeah, we have a great partnership with the Crow's Nest. Essentially, they have allowed us to indulge ourselves somewhat and create a thing called the Get Wet Reverb Lounge, which we host about once a quarter. They would like it more, and I just can't really do it much more than that. But it's a great night. It features surf instrumental music. We've had visitors from Spain, all over the Bay Area, Southern California, and our next one coming is Lorenzo Surfer Joe from Italy. So he's coming all the way out, and he's going to bring some all-stars with him. Some of the members of the Insect Surfers will be playing in that, and it'll be us and them, and the new Shockwaves, which is Stretch's other surf band, and Stretch, in fact, one of the original surf revivalists from the early 80s with that group, the Shockwaves, so this
Yeah.
is his latest version of it.
All right. So you had a band in the 80s?
1985, I started drumming in a surf band, and I never stopped.
And was that up here or down
San Jose.
San Jose?
Yeah, we were
Oh.
basically the same.
Great surf over there.
That's what I was just going to say. Super inspired by the buildings.
Yes.
Well, surfing the Guadalupe River is exciting, huh?
It was about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's
It's sort of dried
desert
up.
crawl. Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into another one here.
Yeah. This is a song about Santa Cruz, actually, one of a couple that we do. This one's called The Coldwater Kid.
That would be all of us, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Fascinating Creatures of the Deep. You'll be able to see him January 19th at the Crow's Nest. So, as I was listening to you play, the question has always been in my mind: what makes a song? What makes a song a surf song? What turns it from something else into a surf music?
Yeah, that's a tremendous question, and it's one still debated today.
I mean, you can tell it's surf music.
Yeah.
But what makes it that?
Well, I would say that probably, and the interesting thing is, it didn't start out this way with Dick Dale. He did not play with a lot of reverb when he first started, but later, the introduction of reverb is probably the single thing that unites a lot of surf music. Also, originally, surf music was instrumental, and when the Beach Boys came around, they added like a vocal kind of thing to it, and so then there became a lot of vocal surf songs as well.
Ruined everything.
Well, there are people of differing opinions on that. I'm an instrumental guy, though, and I think that definitely it's the spirit of the ocean in your music. For instance, the Shadows, which is one of the greatest instrumental bands of all time, not considered a surf band, yet if the average person listens to the Shadows, they'd lump it in with surf. But that's where surf and instrumental kind of break. So it's an interesting thing. But
Well,
being
they're
from
all
Santa
instrumental.
Cruz, yeah,
It's called reverb.
the reverb, and then again, if you're a California guy, you're playing surf music. It's our indigenous folk music here in California. Honest to
Certainly
God, it
become
is.
that way, yeah.
It is. If you look back, what else have we produced, right?
I can't.
Besides Fender guitars, which is used in surf music.
So I was asking you before we went on the air, one of my favorite surf bands of all time was an instrumentalist, but it was the Surf Punks out of Malibu, California.
Right.
And they came up here and played at the Civic Auditorium a couple of times.
Yep.
Civic Auditorium told them the last time they played that they couldn't ever come back again because they played a song called Big Top.
Uh-huh.
And you can use your imagination what that might have been about.
I have no idea.
Explain that to us, John.
No, I just said use your imagination.
I'm using
Anyway, a bunch of those people, the Big Tops, came up on stage and showed their big top. The
Sounds like
city
a Tubes concert.
Yes, the Santa Cruz Civic Auditorium people went crazy, and that threw
Well,
us
we had
out.
babies on boobs earlier.
Yes, we did.
That's true. That's right.
So,
Where's the problem? It's nature.
yes. Anyway, you do all your own songs?
We play, well, what it comes down to is, it's an interesting thing. We can actually play 3 hours, which is very rare for a band that does mostly originals. So we have augmented with a little bit of cover material. At this point, it's like 66% original and 33 cover.
Yeah.
But when we play out, like if we play an average like hour-long or 45-minute long set, we will probably never play more than 1 or 2 covers tops.
Yeah.
Because it's about our original thing,
Well, and the reason for covers is so people can say, oh,
I know that song.
Yeah, I know that song.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We're
this is a
filling a
good
little
band. They
time.
play a song I know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think people have to relate that way somehow. I mean, that's the way we fooled them here at KPIG.
Oh, I know that.
We put in classic rock,
Right.
And they say, "Oh, I know that." And then we play something they never heard of, and they go,
That's
"Well,
right.
that's pretty good."
That's right. Give 'em
So
the
you
appetizer.
have to fool people sometimes with it.
Totally true.
So we fooled all you guys, nanner, nanner, nanner.
You
All
have
right,
an
let's.
electric band playing here. What's happening?
Yes,
But
on Sunday.
said- how about you said Link Ray,
Yes.
right? That's one of the covers you do?
Yeah, we do Jack the Ripper by Link. We also do Rumble.
Oh.
But we haven't played Rumble in a long time. But Jack, is one of our, people love it when we play that song, so it's fun. But
Do we get to love it?
I don't know. We haven't prepped it. We prepped all our originals for our 4 songs.
Okay, well,
or
let's
whatever.
do originals. Give us
Yeah.
another one here.
Yeah, how many we got? We got 2 left or 1? Do you think? Because if we got
Well,
2,
it depends on how long this song is.
we got probably about 3 minutes and
Yeah, we can
3:30,
probably
and
get-
then another one that's about 4.5.
Well, why don't you do the 4.5 first,
Okay, we'll
and
do
then
it.
if we have time, we'll go for the 3.5, or you can play us out.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
Okay.
All right. Well, in that case, let's do Last Ride of the Day, because then that way you can tune out. And the last tune's really mellow. This one is called what I just said, Last Ride of the Day.
All right. When that song started and the reverb kicked in and the drums, that sound is what you hear in the green room as it closes out around you.
Nice. We'll
Isn't
take
it?
that.
Isn't it?
That's how it was written.
Yeah, that's the
Glad
way
that
I
went over.
Yeah, exactly how it went over. So let's do this. I have to read some things as we say goodbye about who's coming on next week and thank our sponsors. And so if you guys could play behind us,
Absolutely.
and that would be cool. And then at some point we'll be done.
Perfect.
But I want to tell everybody before we do that you'll be able to see the Fascinating Creatures of the Deep on January 19th at the Crow's Nest.
Absolutely.
And is there a website people can go to?
Well, we have a Facebook page, just facebook.com/FCOTD. And I think you can hit it from the web and it'll tell you everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a website is necessary.
I know, John. You're right, and we are remiss.
But Sherry is a webmaster. And she does it for free.
Really?
Yeah. But she likes to wear a little leather outfit and everything when she's doing it.
She's doing it. That's right.
Later.
Lederhosen, no less. Wait, that doesn't coincide with what was just going through my
No,
mind.
but not Lederhosen. Laterhosen.
Posing later.
I understand now.
Yeah. Mark had to explain it, I guess. Okay, so you guys play and I'll read and we'll have a great time. And we want to thank all of the folks who came in today and played for us, including Aaron English, who will be at Don Quixote's tonight. Also, songs Hotbox Harry taught us, Carmel Barmel and Carmel, January 9th, Feral Fauna at Don Quixote's on the 17th, and the Fascinating Creatures of the Deep playing in the background at the Crow's Nest on January 19th. Coming up next week, the Rayburn brothers will be here. David Holodiloff's coming in. Peter and Arwen Lewis. Peter of Moby Grape.
Didn't we try that before?
Yeah, but we're going to try it again.
You know what? That's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be great. And speaking of great, the Coffis brothers will also be joining us. This is next Sunday here on KPIG's Live Music Show, brought to you by Sylvan Music, where they have acoustic and electric guitars, ukuleles, basses, mandolins, violins, banjos, amplifiers, effects pedals, cases, and tons of accessories, so much more. Sylvan Music on the west side of Santa Cruz at the corner of Mission and Bay. We'd also like to thank Mountain Feed and Farm Supply, where they're having tons of fun up there right now. There's live and cut Christmas trees in all sizes. They're there for you to pick up today. Local hot cider, and it's fresh. Free gift wrap, which isn't fresh, it's old gift wrap. Hundreds of unique fun gifts. Learn the art of home food preservation. There's 5 classes in January and February. Fun for all, including beginners. $45 each, or all 5 for $180. Makes a great gift. Details at mountainfeed.com. And we also
Find those
I found the
pages.
page, and we want to thank Jeff Childers. Hey, Jeff. He's just waking up. Skinny Ricky. Where's Skinny? Eric Parsons. Thank you, Skinny. Sherry Austin in her Lederhosen.
Posing later.
And Dave Gordon. I forgot Dave, didn't I? Of Josephson Engineering. Thank you, Dave. Marky Stark. Hey, Marky. Thank you. Alan Mulho is back with us today. Thanks, Mark. I already got to the next guy. I'm sorry, Alan.
Next guy.
Next guy. I'm going to skip him.
Yeah.
Because he's Mark Mooney and we can skip him.
We can skip me.
Thank you all for being with us today. We'll be back next Sunday, and then we're off for a couple of weeks, so make sure you tune in for our final show of 2015. Please stand by.